Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So, Libras, let's go ahead and take a look at the hidden chapter, whatever is the unread chapter, the unseen part of the story. Okay. We have a Three of Wands. So, this could talk about, we could have a fire sign who never explained what they hoped the future would look like. We have a Page of Swords sideways. We have the Star sideways. This is somebody who's still got wishes, hopes, dreams, goals. They are quietly looking into things, still have been. Like, this is somebody who's hiding the fact that they have not given up on a plan for their future. Maybe they basically let that topic fall by the wayside, but it's far from over. Six of Swords. This is still somebody who's got a plan to move on, to move forward, but they're keeping it under their hat. Nine of Wands and Death card. This is somebody who has plans to leave, plans to exit, plans to quit something still down the road. Like, they don't intend to keep doing something. Who are they hiding this from? We have Temperance in the reverse. Somebody that they do not have balance with. Could be Sagittarian. But who is this person to Libra? What is this? Page of Wands. Okay. So it appears that we have someone who is, and let's say this could be about work related stuff. Okay. We could have somebody who's like, look, I don't get along with this boss that great. Honestly, I am still very much planning on leaving eventually, going off and maybe working for Libra instead. I want to come back and explore a job opportunity or a business opportunity with Libra. There's a creative spark. Like, I didn't give up on. It's just, I wasn't ready to leave my 9-to-5 job yet. I will be later. I'm still planning on that. I'm just not saying it to anyone. This could also be about relationship type stuff. This could be somebody who's like, oh, I'm not going to be continuing to live here. I'm going to move out. I'm going to leave. And I'm going to talk to Libra about this at some point in time, but I'm not telling the person who I'm having the conflict with. I don't want bigger conflict. This really does feel like on this storyline, we have somebody who doesn't want to create bigger problems. So they're just keeping it under their hat with their upcoming future plans are. Three of Wands, again, as we talk about who is Libra to them, I feel like this is somebody who wants to be with Libra by Libra's next birthday for sure. Now, I know that's a whole year away, but this is somebody who's got plans that they would put into action within the next 3 days to 3 months with that Three of Wands. Or maybe it's their birthday coming up. I don't know. With this Three of Wands, maybe they want to celebrate Libra's birthday belatedly, because we've already come through Libra season, so that wouldn't be till next year. But we have two cards that say in the next 3 months. So either that's their birthday or they want to do something as a belated celebratory thing with Libra. But they have plans. Why do you have plans with Libra that you haven't shared with Libra? Okay, we have the Knight of Cups and we've got the Knight of Pentacles, because it requires that they take action first. Whomever this is, they have plans for their future. It involves Libra. It involves, hopefully, if Libra is agreeable, it involves some kissing and some kneecap caresses. It looks like he's like caressing her kneecap. So a kneecap caress. Look, it feels romantic, but also like very above board. It's like back in the Victorian era where it was like to see someone's ankles was like swoon, like this feels very above board, very, but romantic, certainly. But they are not talking to Libra about their plans because their plans haven't even been put into action yet. Tell me about the situation that they want to exit. The Five of Wands. They're having to still be like a support network to another person. They maybe have talked to only one other person about their plans to leave, or the person that they're going to be walking away from is having a difficult moment. And they're like, I need to help this person while they get on their feet. This could be somebody who was starting their own business. There have been some ups and downs. It could have gone through other upsets in life. And it almost feels like whomever this is who has plans, we'll ask in just a minute who they actually are, because this lead character is the one with the storyline that they've not revealed yet, right? They seem to, they could be an Aquarius or a Scorpio, but their plans are to boogie on out, but they can't do it yet because they feel like the person they'd be boogieing out on, and this certainly could be a business owner, just because we do have that, grand opening and it's an Ace of Pentacles. This could be all about work. It's like, I can't quit working in this industry when, I don't want to leave somebody high and dry when they're just getting things off the ground. I'm going to stick around for 90 days, help them out, get them launched, and then I can exit, and then I can pursue things with Libra. Now, the only thing that doesn't make sense is it seems like a romance with Libra is put on hold, even though their intentions are to gravitate toward Libra. And I don't know why you put a romance on hold because of business. So instead, I would almost think that this has something to do with, I don't want to look, there's a lot to be said for not trying to leave somebody when they're high and dry, or, like there's different obligations that we like morally feel that we have to someone. The only thing is, if they're saying, well, I'm not going to leave this person until 3 months later, once their new business is going better, and then I can drop my ex. It does kind of say, yeah, but lying to somebody is still going to make them feel like, wait a second, so you had an exit plan all this time? I'm just saying, look, I don't know what the right or the wrong thing is, but it is getting into sketchy terrain a little bit, if you ask me. But they are still saying yes, but I'm trying to see it from the other person's perspective. Maybe it would be too much to talk about exiting when they're in the middle of getting their new business going. Even if, this could be somebody where it's like, well, I've been living with my best friend. My best friend just started their own business. I can't move out, but my best friend and Libra don't get along, but I want to date Libra, but I can't leave my best friend when they just started a business. They're struggling for money. I'm going to stay and keep paying rent to help them out. But then I want to be able to go and pursue things with Libra. I got to be able to do that. Or it's like, oh, my best friend is my roommate, but I dated their family member at one point. We broke up, but I don't want to instantly jump into something with Libra because it's going to disrespect my best friend, the family member that I didn't keep dating. It could be like layers of confusion on this. And this character seems to be trying to make the best, most respectful plans, and also like the most without lying, also not explaining what their intentions are, what they already know they're going to do in their future. Because honestly, their future is their business, right? They don't owe anybody an explanation on one hand. On the other hand, they're delaying not for their comfort, but for the comfort of someone else that they just feel. Let me ask, what's the underlying reason that you feel you should wait a bit before approaching Libra? 6 of Wands in the reverse. It definitely has something to do with, I don't want to cause somebody else distress or insult them or make them feel low. And if I were to leave right now and go get with Libra, that could impact somebody. So that's why I'm not saying anything about what my plan is. I don't want to hurt Libra's feelings, or this person's feelings when I go toward Libra. That's why I have to let things play out in a proper way. I'm not saying anything to anybody about this. What is the universe's perspective on this? Let's go with this deck. Knight of Cups. If we think about, the knights of old, there was like a code that they lived by. And this could say this person is trying to be as honorable as possible and considerate of everybody's emotions before they cross that river. It's like, I don't want to hurt anybody. I never want to leave someone, flooded and drowning in problems. And then I bounce and be like, yeah, well, peace out. I want to go get with Libra. This 5 of Wands also says the universe is saying to this person, like, emotions they will be crossing a river, right? Once they cross over and they start trying to date Libra, there won't be any going back across that river. So the fact that they're giving this thought, if anything, thinking this out, weighing their actions, almost seems like they're trying to minimize any damage that they would cause anybody else or any hurt they cause anybody else. But the universe is also pointing out respecting everybody else's emotions to such a huge extent. What about Libra? Are you doing Libra wrong by not being there for Libra? So what if Libra were in a tough spot and Libra needed you? Why is your loyalty more to somebody else at first instead of Libra? Sorry, but the universe brought it up, not me. And is minimizing, someone else's discomfort Is that fair to maximize Libra's possible discomfort? I mean, I don't even know if Libra is uncomfortable or, could use their presence in their life. But let me just get one last card, because there might not be any way to avoid, making somebody unhappy. We've got the Two of Pentacles sideways. The universe is actually saying, instead of doing one person wrong and one person right, you might be in a situation where everybody gets done wrong and everybody gets done right to degrees at the same time. Meaning having the respect to tell another person, I'm not going to be staying. I can't keep it a secret. I got to go, and I am going to go be with that Libra. That might be, I mean, not saying it maybe that bluntly, but, speaking the truth, letting another person know what your plans are instead of eating up 3 months of their time. Because what if you get it all wrong and they don't want you sticking around for 3 months? What if they're like, get on out of here? Actually, I thought you needed a place to stay. In some ways, you leave and I leave. I'm going to go live with my family, which is going to save me a bundle instead of paying rent. I was keeping this place so you had a place to still live. Like, there could be other things that two people, I don't know. I just think that adults are adults. Tell them the truth, even if it's not what they want to hear, so they can make their own decisions. But trying to make decisions around other people, even if it's to be kind, could sometimes get you in hot water. Speaking a truth while still saying, and look, I am going to be leaving. I don't want to cause you distress. I thought, what if I stayed for 3 months before I leave? Would that make life easier? Would you like that? What would you, because I'm not trying to, cause you grief, but let them know the plans, and let them know what is happening. And also let Libra know the full situation instead of keeping it to themselves. I mean, this is just a thought. This doesn't mean this is the best way for this character to behave, but it does bring up that question mark of nobody's going to love everything, but also life is about compromise. And it's also, in the adult world, we don't always get everything we want. But I kind of think if this hidden chapter of the story is like they're trying so hard to not make anybody upset, it almost could backfire and make everybody upset. Okay, let's go back over here for just a second and say, so is Libra privy to any part of this right now? The Hanged Man. All Libra knows is, I don't know what the heck they're doing, but I'm flying away from all this. I don't really spend much time thinking about it. Okay. Hanged Man, all these delays are definitely a turnoff to Libra. 10 of Wands. Libra's like, I don't think about them. Their delays, their problems, their ish, that's for them. If they're stuck in the past, that's their thing that they're stuck on. It isn't my thing. I flew away some time ago. Okay, so Libra does not seem to be pining for this person, hanging on I wonder when they're going to come into my world. So let me ask this. If this is what's playing out behind, Libra even knowing about it, is this really going to factor into Libra's future at all? The Star sideways. Libra will decide when the day comes. Is this a wish fulfillment? Is this something? I will say this. I don't think if anything would take Libra backwards, if when this person shows up in Libra's life, which is what their intention is, if Libra thinks, well, being around them makes me feel like I'm going backwards in time, then I don't see Libra doing that. It seems like Libra always has to have what is my wish? Is this my wish right now? Could it be my wish in the future? But I don't see Libra saying, oh, that was my wish in the past, so now I'll take it and run with it. I don't see it that way. I only see it as present and future. So if this person comes back in, well, not if, but when they are trying to be with Libra, I don't see Libra it's not a sure thing. It's not a slam dunk. It depends on the circumstances. Can I ask one final thing? Why is it that they're not telling Libra what their situation is? The perspective, that's the Hanged Man again, and the 9 of Wands. It's all about the delays. It's all about, and someday, and it's funny because we have, different cards, different artists, and yet the first card was the hot air balloons, and now we're ending with the hot air balloons. We've seen the Hanged Man come out a couple times. Hot air balloons, they're not like jets. They don't fly 500 miles per hour or something, right? They don't move with zero speed, but they're certainly, we think of them as like these bobbing along kind of things. And I feel like this person bobs a bit and has ideas of things, and they kind of want stuff to just gently, naturally lift and ooze away instead of like deal with stuff head on to minimize what they foresee as being a problem. And so I think that they're trying to do that also in regards to Libra. Like maybe this will all be a moot point at some point as I ooze my way into Libra's life. But they could also be trying to buy themselves some time by not jumping into something with Libra right away. They might be going slow because for them, this is more peaceful. This is more like I need to just move slower. Life force energy. So the real underlying reason for this is that they might be exhausted. They might need to shift gears a little slower, not because they don't want Libra enough, but all of, change, transformation, all of that is difficult. But it looks like this person actually wants to go slower for themselves. So they're kind of doing themselves a bit of a favor and moving slower on this transformation. Oh, we have the Wheel of Fortune sideways, though, which says they're waiting for like a sign when it's the right time. They're waiting for, at the beginning, it was like, okay, so they don't want to anger somebody else, or they want to be there and still help someone else so that their feelings don't get hurt. But actually, the more we look at this, is they're waiting for a sign that it's the right time for them to formally say goodbye to somebody else and explain that they're moving forward with Libra. But then we also have them, it's kind of like the universe is saying, yeah, but the bigger person that's not ready is them. They're waiting for a sign when it's time to go, but that sign, I think, is going to come from within them. They're the ones that are kind of fatigued. They're the ones that are kind of like struggling with this transformation, this shift, even if it's the shift that they want. Is there an underlying reason that the change is hard for them to make? Ace of Cups. That Ace of Cups, it's about peace. It's about love. I honestly feel like this is somebody who wants to offer a lot of love to Libra, but they have to make sure that they're not coming in already exhausted. So I'm wondering if whomever they've been dealing with, it's been a lot of work and it's been kind of exhausting. And for them to release that is like a lot. They got to get their energy stores back up. I don't know that I feel like this is somebody who's trying to, it doesn't feel like they're trying to do Libra wrong in any way. It just doesn't feel like this is exactly the easiest situation. Like change never is, but particularly this person is like, they have big plans of how they want to be in this loving connection with Libra. I don't feel like this is an ex of Libra's. I feel like this is somebody who wants to start something with Libra and they're not free to do so yet. And as much as they want to be able to be with Libra, the truth of it is they need some time to decompress themselves before trying to go ask Libra out. Again, we saw that Justice card where the universe was like, hey, Libra might have to be somebody that you think, are you doing them wrong in all these delays? But now I'm thinking it's also about them. They can't come in and give Libra less than what Libra would want in a partner. So it would behoove them to just take the time that they need to be ready to end one partnership and then move toward Libra after they give themselves a gap of time so they can give Libra what's appropriate, is kind of what it seems like. So that's a story that's not told. All right, I'm going to leave this here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up.